I'm Jonathan Search, professor at Antioch University in Seattle. As you may know, Antioch University has a long history of commitments to social justice and education for social engagement. In his remarks to the graduating class of 1859, our first president, Horace Mann, said, "Be ashamed to die until winning some victory for humanity." That charge lives on today. What you are about to see is a unique film depicting challenges, opportunities, courage, and compassion among Tibetans living in exile from their homeland in South India. I think you will find their story to be inspiring and their efforts relevant beyond their immediate circumstances. Indeed, pursuits of victories for all humanity. Having fled their homeland in 1959 to escape Chinese government persecution, several generations of Tibetans have been surviving in exile from their homeland with enduring hope of an eventual return. Presently, approximately 130,000 Tibetans have found safe haven amid 52 settlements in North and South India, Nepal, and Bhutan. As years have passed, the Tibetan refugee settlements have grown into whole communities. Today, these settlements face many challenges, the most pertinent being, how can settlement life become the foundation for successful living for both current and future generations of Tibetans in exile? On arrival to India, many Tibetans began adopting the popular Western scientific farming methodologies that were sweeping across India at the time. Initially praised as a green revolution, these practices intended to greatly increase productivity and economic rewards. Unfortunately, such methods involving prolific use of machinery, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, monocrop plantations, and genetically modified seeds were breeding a host of social, economic, and ecological complications. After 60 years, the relative success of conventional farming has been stifled as productivity has sharply declined, creating additional hardships for Tibetans in exile. In 2000, His Holiness the Dalai Lama expressed a vision for the creation of sustainable settlements with the intention of improving the stability and quality of life for his people in exile and as preparation for their eventual return to their homeland. I had the opportunity to discuss these issues with Dr. Robert Thurman, professor of Indo-Tibetan Buddhist Studies at Columbia University and a personal friend of His Holiness the Dalai Lama.
He was in the past conditioned kind of that, oh, you come from an underdeveloped country and development is really helpful and has decreased human suffering and increased human happiness, so we better develop, And he began to realize by traveling the world that this development has not decreased, it's changed the quality and the type of suffering. And then I think beyond that, since then, he's even become more aware, I think, and thought more carefully about what the impact in the future will be, pollution and overpopulation and global warming and all that.
As a result of declining farm productivity and related economic distress, many Tibetans, especially young people, have relocated to cities in pursuit of new business opportunities. Unfortunately, many have met with less success than anticipated. In 2009, I returned to India at the invitation of Tibetan Prime Minister Samdong Rinpoche to interview residents and learn about the state of organic agriculture in the settlements. This journey focused on the 5 largest Tibetan agricultural communities in South India. During my travels, I met with many farmers and local officials who described the challenges and opportunities represented in their farming experiences. I was impressed by the variety and abundance of organic crops, compost products, and other goods that they produced. As we walked the fields and I witnessed the circumstances, they told me about their challenges in transitioning to organic farming after so many years of pursuing green revolution conventional farming methods. Learning how to practice organic methods on land that had been depleted by decades of chemical and pesticide applications remains a difficult endeavor. Complicating matters for some Tibetans is the impact of marauding elephants that ravage the crops that now occupy their native feeding grounds.
따자빌라 싱가디 담만도에 가려서나 고조 간주 다칸다 시자도 상마 아니 답고 요래 자세 자담바 간다 찍으면 답고 요래스 다디니 발갑증니 대라 다칸다 다친스 간세 거래 인제 쪽에는 간다 다 랑쟁 노지기.
Because the elephants are capable of consuming an entire crop overnight, Tibetans have introduced methods to prevent and discourage their access, such as trenches that surround their fields and tree perches that watch over their crops at night.
다 수수삼바 지와였나. 강은 이와지가 치마시를 섬도. 가르스나 땅 안도 로 캠피 당한데 갈라 간zam기 제게 돈도 가나 흉자기 누바도 조사를 요래. 시험바 되게디 담 망고지는 치료를 신사를. 랑제 종아리 때 단다 랑제가 강에다 지금 다 미치 돈내 간다 딘데 다 차수봉 오만 당신이 용해 카보레 섬도.
그바 신가노니 저 정책 중앙 남아강 신수제 나저 저라 걸리 점 야부 정거에서 다 바기 신칼로 좀 중하면서 나저 저 관도 신칼로 상통체는 다 소단다 좀 소단말라는도 단다 지나면서 신칼 시다 걸리 점을 제가 걸어봤을 때 신칼을 알려서 저 당고도 연구로 주주야 개발당 요 지역만 개발는 걸리 점.
There is an ongoing concern that as the settlements age, so do their original inhabitants, raising the question, who will succeed current farmers and continue on this sustainable path?
Allah, or don't you don't that don't go on do you? And Della, Tuxarabji Lord Delevi, Mongo di Gitan. Tuxarabji Lord Ledne, Tapodel Mutan and Chagatan. I can gala. I come tabi, Mungi Dali, Ngombo tabi, Nako tabi, Tor tabi, Sorapen tabi, Tor tabi. That take my own Labuk Dabota, Alan Dabot in the tabi, any Badam in the tabi, Kasakala so Maboti, in a detail, lost some Saze.
단ang 아주 다디 로 야도 신사로라. 근데 슐레로 와디 신시도든지 라가 제너와 마음을 펜토서레. 가르선 너닝 아동안에 내가 지어와라. 내가도 빈데 갈리도. 이내로 와디 너닝데 처지 매고 가는데 때 슐레가 강할 차례. 가르선 가는데 라가데 단당한테 류기야 내지 지어와. 최나데 지대데 다 나와지니 내. 나는 딜리긴 대미도. 이나 가도 다디 마음 보고 가도 딜러로 와라. 간다디 폭을 보잖아. 네 야래 સમ도라.
다 디기 털레 삼수네. 이당게 당간조 솔종 고속네 다 달로로니 doktor chak de yore ene de gandele sacha de lan jurba yoko kibat temdo do de song sang mu tu ne ni de zen royal.
Tibetans know that they need to pursue economically viable and sustainable alternatives. Their challenge today may be to revive and improve traditional methods with the aid of modern knowledge, to launch a veritable second green revolution with environmentally safe practices that are accessible even to small and marginal farmers.
미상마가 아니다 지파레다 디 점딘다우 디 프리티 비즈니스 메바디 덴바레다 비즈니스 메바디 덴바레로 비자 니 줌 마타바디 덴바레데 이나야 아니 자치사 산루타니 디 산루타 바이나 점디글라카니 미가 디다 karsa di thoten tang ani zambala siang la manapa tires.
Cooperative might be thinking that their main thing is to make a business and profit. It is not just a profit.
The sort of greed of the present generation, they could say, well, that's compassion to us because we're making more money, or we're doing better, or we're having a better crop. But in fact, that's uncompassionate in the longer term because it's wrecking the environment.
실로 치동국제 조주 타면 조주 러run도 쓸 따윈데서는 사제기 주디 냠도한테 가서 하고 왔다. 남주는 만잡지기 질류 태와 달고 태와 가서 개비네 대점지랑 매형부터 사지리 강아지 치고래. 다티 뭐여 레샤선네 아니 남루 뒤 섬당세네 다티 땡딘 로고도 마음벌에 사디 쌈밑 배 두제 차베 있는 오늘 전에 강아샤서서 다 소시쇼디 수준은 줘야기 만저 지스고다 쌈는나 당보 콜고야라고 드레스 코스
zelu de la chashawana wala tes lega nyunga dochi lega nyunga do tu de yinange puda rembuji samlo ta wayina ta de konje ko sa de kyo do gala ma ba ge ani chikta konje thomba de kyo do res ta nange sambu di samudro wala tanda sugyen de la do wayina tes lega manga dochi tu wala ta yinange lega di susurangi ge samju shwayina lo mangbu chingala de chiku mares ta reware wala khaisna sa de nyima chik sa de yabu chadu gala rangshegi ane lega nyungdo droya chida dinde chire nge thingdo ane pena chachana sogyen de la nganju muthune pe masige yabu dro thubayina ane tanda ngaranju ge nganju gi thada pena shijage nangla gyaga ko thongse ba denjo lage nganju pheba dige dige mitone de ji yungre thingdo kaisna nganju ge lega chi chega nganju chigore chega nganju nyamdo khonjo chido gala de yabu ji khonjo ge chonanda thongjulo thongwena ge khonjo ge dinde la droya ge doba da dinalo jushu chido bela phendo yungre thingdo.
While going organic is a noble goal, for some farmers it is a yet unachievable ambition given their personal and family circumstances.
다 ngaran chasas na nangmi mangbo yorala gengo somsie bugunga si nangmi chusie domni ani sujen chibu chinani thembab da chini khaptiya khora marshara andi ta magedel the ccf launch chagri korche shingdu doji tapshe andi nal intergrop di dal rig do de tapna ngara nal tis pingre samgudurala.
While Tibetan farmers work to encourage further economic opportunities, they are innovating for sustainability and self-sufficiency on a community scale. So we're in Village C, and we are at one of the residents' homes because I wanted to point out a few of the systems that are common among many of the homes in the settlement. So first off, we have a biogas system that produces methane from dung, and the dung is deposited at the endpoint place and produces the methane, and then the spent slurry is deposited into a reservoir that can be harvested as fertilizer thereafter. They also have a vermiculture system in place, and the left side is where the worms actually convert the raw material into compost. The right side is the finished product that allows to sit and mature. And my understanding is that in a given season, an annual production rate of 1.5 tons of vermiculture can be produced from this system. They also have a supplemental wood fuel backup system so that for an 11-person family, this biogas unit is sufficient for breakfast and lunch cooking. But for dinner time, they need to augment this biogas with wood fuel. Another area of innovation has focused on small-scale, intensive growing at home. On a warm and rainy afternoon, I met Mrs. Kalsung at her home. She invited me to see her beautiful kitchen garden, which demonstrates small, labor-saving, and abundantly productive permaculture design. Where did you learn how to do all that you do at your home?
Yeah, first when we came here, Upper Luti, from the Englishman, I don't know from which country, he taught us in village number 3. And then also my mom, she taught me how to do all this.
Wow.
And by practicing, and every year we get more and more experience. So mostly we learn from this through experience, yeah.
Yeah, so you never stop learning.
No, no.
You're learning something new.
Something new, yeah.
Yes, every time.
This one will break this, and then sometimes we peel it, and you will have a very nice vegetable.
Where do you store your seeds?
Always under the mango tree. I don't have a special room.
Oh,
Only
wow.
under the mango tree.
Wow,
Yes.
that is terrific. As effective as mango trees are for storing seeds, I went and visited another venue for seed saving. Organic farming in the Tibetan settlements is not just about producing organic crops. It's about designing and creating a sustainable food system for future generations. We're standing in the collection of heirloom seeds that Tibetans are collecting and saving for future use. So around this entire room are seeds for crops that are appropriate to this region, that are appropriate to the diet and to the culinary preferences of the people living here. This is a beautiful example of how Tibetans are not only thinking about the current sustainability of agriculture, but also sustainability into the future. As Tibetan farmers continue to produce their organic crops, what do they do with their abundance? Well, they bring it here to the Kaligal Settlement Cooperative Society's processing facility. Here, they can process their soybean, their millet, their lentil, other crops, not only process but package. They can even mill millet flour, Tibetan organics. In complement to growing their crops organically, Tibetans are investing in branding and marketing their products in order to reach and fulfill growing demand for organic goods.
That's the main thing of permaculture designs. Like before doing anything, you should plan and make design. Like if you make a house, like where do you want to face your house? Where is the sun coming from? What is the quality of your soil? What creatures live nearby? And when do they come during the day? The real farmers, I think, should learn about permaculture.
A sustainable organic farming method replaces labor and energy-intensive row cropping with integrated methods, like a food forest. A food forest is comprised of 7 layers, a high canopy layer and a dwarf tree layer for fruit and nut trees, a shrub layer for berries, an herbaceous layer for low-growing plants like comfreys and herbs, a root layer for subsurface vegetables, a surface layer for ground cover plants like strawberries, and a vertical layer for climbers like pepper and vanilla bean. This method maximizes horizontal and vertical growth while creating valuable microclimates. We're in Mr. Chamba's food forest. It's a beautiful example of an all-organic food-producing microclimate canopy. So around me, I'm standing in the middle of an organic coffee plantation. Canopy is comprised of coconut and silver oak, and this mango is supporting a vanilla bean plant. And then in other directions I see turmeric, and I see ginger, and I see peanut, and I see goa, and on and on and on. So it's a beautiful example of how co-located plants can harmonize and play well together in a very small land area. Mr. Chamba's food forest is much like others in his village, a panoply of plants and animals that form resilient, home-scale food systems. Growing many annual and perennial fruits and vegetables in this way allow for residents to harvest food right outside their door. Next, we'll go to a place where Tibetans can learn how to connect their practices at home with those in their fields. So we have arrived now at the Organic Research and Training Center in Bailakup. Inspired by biodynamic methods and permaculture design, Inside these gates are a variety of demonstration plots, a variety of examples that Tibetan farmers can see and learn from to advance their organic farming practices. Farmers and agricultural extension officers can come here to learn and together grow their confidence.
Yeah, a lot of farmers in Balagupi is going to see this organic research training center. If this farm become success, definitely they will go and do in their farmer for own feet.
I asked the assistant director, Tenzin Damdul, how Tibetan farmers could be successful at organic farming.
The farmer should be very clear in mind that they should be fully committed to organic farming. And second thing is that they should have enough compost. And particularly for the aging people, I would suggest that if they are having a marginal land of around 2-3 acres, I think it's very important to adopt some horticulture crops, which reduces the labor and manpower requirement, even the compost requirement. I think even by growing some horticulture and introducing some agroforestry in that particular 2-3 acre small area, I think that will reduce the lot of burden of having getting manpower and even the inputs requirement. I introduced so many different kind of composting, which I didn't see before here.
At the center, farmers learn how to produce higher volumes of compost than they ever thought possible. They can see flow forms that oxygenate and infuse spirit into otherwise stagnant water. The center's director, Dundup Sering, is a knowledgeable and respected leader in the Tibetan organic movement. His leadership has helped farmers and officials understand the merits of going organic.
It's important to eat the organic foods because of the health concern. The world is changing now from the conventional to organic. So everybody is conscious about that they are healthy. Once family, or even you consider on one family, is become very healthy, then we say so he's a wealthy.
By spending time at the center, Tibetans can learn the value and importance of cooperation, which supports local enterprises like this dairy as well as in-field research activities. By actively working towards sustainability, Tibetans can achieve livelihoods that His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, envisions for his people.
It's not just a sentimental thing, let's be nice to everybody, it's a practical thing. We can't destroy where we live. That's his view of sustainability is that. It's not a religious matter to him. He often said, it's a scientific matter. You can't destroy your own house and expect to thrive in it and have future generations.
The examples you've seen depicting the ways and means of sustainable agriculture in the settlements has value not just for Tibetans, but for all of us. The endorsement of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, for Tibetans to pursue organic agriculture in the refugee settlements is a bold and timely catalyst for local through global sustainability. With the further development of their sustainable practices, Tibetans anticipate improved quality of life for themselves and future generations who will inherit and inhabit their compassionate legacy. The Tibetans' achievement of ahimsa in exile will serve as evidence that a sustainable agriculture is indeed a cultivation of compassion, experience that will serve them well on their eventual return to their homelands of Tibet.